struggling to figure out what to post on social media? What kind of content do I need to create? What kind of posts are going to be engaging? Is it time for you need to post today? It's 10 o'clock, right? And that's what you've been told is the hour to post, and you have no idea what to say, no idea. It's the same old things and same old pictures, same old quotes. Maybe you're tired of posting the same old things. You're seeing less and less comments, less and less likes, less interaction. Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about content is key. How do we elevate your social media for business growth? Welcome to the HaltingWinter podcast. I'm your host, Seth Winterhalter. Would you take a moment if you're listening or watching today on our YouTube channel? Would you subscribe to the podcast? Would you help us keep these episodes coming to you and broadening our audience to reach people who haven't heard yet? And so we can do that by you engaging, right? Helping with the algorithms. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a 5-star review so others can hear about the same insights that you're getting today as we all strive to help our businesses soar higher, farther, and faster than ever before. Let's dive into the topic. How can we create a clear plan for engaging content on our social media platforms on a consistent basis? How do we create a clear plan for creating engaging content on a consistent basis? Here are 5 types of posts that you can do, and hopefully to give you some fresh ideas. Maybe you're going to be like, wow, I never thought about that. That's a good idea. And again, there's thousands of things you can do, but here's what I do. I'm going to break this into 5, right? Maybe you post 5 days. And so here are 5 types of content. And in fact, 2 of them are going to be the same. You're going to see this, but if you want a post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, here are 5. Here's the layout. Here's what I would do. Day number 1, I would engage. What does engage mean? Well, it means start a discussion. Have you thought about this? How are you using ChatGPT in your social media content? Have you thought about using AI in your social media content? Start a discussion. Create a poll. I use this. What are out of the 6 primary parts of your business, what's the one you're struggling with right now? Is it leadership, marketing, sales, products, overhead, or cash flow? Create a poll. That's an easy one. You can do that in seconds. Here's another way to go, how to engage people. Go on a rant. What is your soapbox issue that you're dealing with right now in light of your customers, in light of your products, in light of something you see in the world that has a connection to your business, right? If you're in construction, maybe you're like, man, this is what I'm seeing, man. These lumber prices, right? Lumber prices are insane, and these are the things I'm thinking about. And this is what how we're trying to be creative as we serve our customers in that. Maybe you're again, there are thousands of things you can think about to go on a rant about. Again, you're delivering knowledge that you have that as people look for. I love rants that help tune people to go, man, this person could solve a problem I have, right? I could go on a rant about just like social media and how, man, it's frustrating that you produce great content and the algorithm, you have to trust that the algorithm's going to get that content in front of people. It's so wild to me. Sometimes I'm like, man, that was a killer clip that I just posted with some great content, great ideas to stimulate people. And I'll get the other one that I didn't think was that good gets 5,000 views, and the one that was awesome gets 20. And I'm like, right? So go on a rant about it and say, this is why we just got to keep posting content. This is why I will just keep posting day in and day out and hope that something just gets some momentum, because hopefully I'm delivering good content and all of it hopefully is helpful. Okay, number 1, engage people, right? Monday, we're going to engage people. Start a discussion, create a poll, go on a rant, do something to engage. Number 2, and engagement's about, right, interaction, really. You want comments. You want people to click on the poll and choose. You want to go on a rant and get people thinking, that's right, man, that's right? Engage. Number 2, then you want to teach. I want to, maybe I'll point to an article, right? So if I'm on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's a great platform where, you might post, something that came out about AI, or, what are you thinking about this? I read this today and here's an idea. Maybe, right, you post like an influencer, like an Adam Grant mindset post, or I don't know, a Tony Robbins inspirational, like here's what he's talking about here. What do you think about this? Or something new that came out. Here's some new, statistical analysis, story thing. What do you have to say about this? So point to an article, give some insights about something. How about answer some questions from your audience? Maybe in your poll on Monday, you asked, what are some of the big questions you have? Is it about, marketing on, social media? Is it about, website? Is it about lead gen? And then you answer. Maybe you answer one of those questions. And so answer a question from an audience. Talk about some facts. Talk about some stats. I talk about, did you know that, in the first small businesses, I think it's, what is it? I get the stats messed up. I think it's in the first 5 years of business, only 65% of businesses make it 5 years, and out of 10 years, it's like 25% of businesses, right? Wow. So if you made it 5 years, congrats. You have made it against the odds, right? And if you make it 10 years, super congrats. So there's some things that we can chew on. How about this? Teach 5 steps to 5 steps to create more engaging social media content. 5 steps to rejuvenate your website. 5 steps to whatever. Teach. There are some ideas. Number 3, on Wednesday, talk about you. This is where, I tell people most websites have way too much information about you. They have too much. No one cares that your business has been in business for 5 generations, and your great grandfather's name was Larry. No one cares. They care about you solving their problems with your products. And so just be careful about using your website to be your personal story. I mean, it's fine if you want an about page and you want that on there, but it cannot be on the homepage. It's just not helping you close sales whatsoever. It's not helping you capture your audience's attention. They didn't show up to read your personal bio. Help instead. I think this is where you can put some of that stuff in your social media post. Talk about your origin story. Talk about great grandpa Larry and how he started the business. Talk about, do that in post that can create some nostalgia, that can create some, oh man, that's interesting, right? Then it's not, you can use all that stuff in some really captivating ways, because people could be interested on a social media platform. They're not necessarily interested if they're coming to your website, or at least not on the homepage. Go behind the scenes. Go behind the scenes of your company. Go behind the scenes of and show them kind of how the sausage is made. People can be interested in that. Random facts about yourself, right? People love, especially on social media, they getting to know things that maybe they don't know is always fun. Just personal, in the moment type stuff, right? You see this. This is why live videos, Facebook, Instagram, pushing live reels. Show where you're at. Show you. Show, instead of like this is a podcast, right? It's I will post clips of this week of my podcast, but it's still not quite in the moment. It's not raw. It's not right. What am I thinking right at this moment? So there's some great things about you. So you've got engage, you've got teach, you've got you. Day number 4, which would be Thursday, I would go back to teach again. Because again, we want to just give before we ask. Notice what I haven't done. I've asked for maybe questions. I've asked for things where I can serve, but I haven't asked. I haven't pitched anything yet, right? I'm just give. So I want to teach again. Maybe there's a model or a system I can teach. I do a lot of this. I use my podcast to walk through all the 6 frameworks. You will realize that I give all the content away. I give all the secrets away on this podcast. This podcast is gold. If you would just listen and apply this podcast. The reason why I know I'll always be in business is because a business coach comes alongside to actually implement those things. We need accountability. We're going to have questions as we try to implement it. We're not going to have all the, a business owner doesn't mean that you're a great marketer or a salesperson or right. There are things that you're going to need help with. And that's what I do. I take all this content and actually apply it to your business so you can grow. So I have no problem giving away the ideas and giving away. And some of you may do that and you'll put it into practice and you'll be like, man, I grew. This is awesome. Maybe he can help me get to even the next level. Yes, I can. So what are your models? What are your systems? That's one thing to teach on. Current events, what's happening in culture, what's happening that has a connection to your products or services. Maybe you read a book recently that has some insights, has some, again, it depends on your business and what's going on, but there are all kinds of things you can give insight. This is where you remember you have what it's called the curse of knowledge. You're a 10. In light of what you do, what you offer, you're a 10. Your customer's like a 1 or a 2 or max a 3. And the dumbest you'll ever be in light of what you know about your products and services is a 5. That's the lowest you'll ever be. When you're at a 5, you're like, how do people not know this, right? You're super frustrated. You're like, that's a 5. Your customer's a 3 on their best day. That's a big gap. It's bigger than you think. And so your lowest form of communication is their highest, is not even their highest. And so that's the gap where they get confused. So this could be a way to talk about that. How do you get down to a 5 and start to maybe even get a little lower to practice coming down to your customer's level and to show them that knowledge that you do have and how that impacts them. Teach on myths. What are myths about your industry? Myths about your products and services. That's always a great one. Maybe you interview someone in the field that can give some insights. Interview a customer and what their experience was like and what they gained. There's some teach. So you have engage, teach, you, teach, and number 5, the last one, now we ask for an action. And again, you don't have to do these in this order. You can do them whatever order you want. But I would only in one post per week actually do an action, right? You can post your lead magnet and say, here's my lead magnet on, the 5 things you should consider when choosing your health coach, the 5 things to consider when you select a bookkeeper, whatever your industry is, whatever your products or services are, pitch your lead magnet. Pitch your actual products or services. Hey, we've got Small Biz Flight School. Love for you to be a part. Love for you to consider this program. If you are this would be the fit to help you double your revenue and 10x your life. A call to action. Book a call. Would love to talk with you. Come to the store. Come check us out, right? So don't bombard them with actions. If everything is always an action, always a sign up now, you just wear them out. So give. Gary Vaynerchuk, remember his book, Jab, 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 Hook, or whatever it was called? Like, you got to give, and then ask. So make sure you're giving. Okay, perhaps you need help. Perhaps you say, man, we need help. I get that, but how do we really do marketing? How do we dial in our framework so that the message we're speaking really is engaging to our clients, to our customer base? You need some help with your social media presence. One of the areas that we dive in when we do Small Business Flight School. So if you're interested in that, you can go check it out. smallbizflightschool.com. Learn more and apply today. Let's take some action. Number 1, go create a content calendar, right? I'd encourage you, create a Google Doc or whatever doc and say, okay, I've got these 5 categories, right? I've got, engage, teach, you, teach, call to action. Okay, I've got 5 categories, and now I'm going to list out those things I just said. I've got a poll, I've got discussions, I've got rants, I've got a teaching one, all the teaching ones. I've got me, I've got personal stories, behind the scenes. I've got, right? All of a sudden now you've got this big graph, and you're like, okay, how do now I can lay this out, and now I've got a whole month's worth. You'll see, once you kind of create this graph, you'll be able to write a whole month of content in like a couple hours. You could take a half a day and knock out all the posts that you post on your social media platforms all month long. And that's what I do. So I'd encourage you, think about that. Create the content calendar, take a few hours, take a half day, and just pound out an entire month of content. Create it, right? Then you take you hand that off to your marketing person, or you work with them, or you just do it. You say, okay, I'm gonna take this day and take these hours, and I'm just gonna create this. I have the plan now. It's so much easier when you're not trying to do it in the moment. It's so much easier when you take the time to use a graph like this, create the content, and then create it in a separate moment, because you're like, oh, I'm just creating what's right here. It's just super easy. And so rock and roll, schedule it, go, get it done. Okay? Hope that helps. Tune in next week as we continue giving you insights about how to grow your business, how to get it out of the weeds, off the runway, and soaring higher than ever before. I hope you're well. My name is Seth Winterhalter. This is the Halting Winter Podcast. Until next time.